Ships or Shipsy? Only you can decide. Find out more at shipzorz.com. Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy New Year. Welcome to the first Thoughts and Coffee of 2021. And I'm so glad to be back with you. My apologies the week before Christmas. As most of you know, I had a bit of a fall and had to be on bed rest. So I was not able to do this episode, but I'm so grateful to Martha and Abigail for sticking with me. And so we can make this an episode to remember for the first week in 2021. So just to give everybody a bit of a recap on Let's Talk Supply Chain. So let's go through a little bit of that. 2020 was a crazy, crazy year. And so last week we released our year in review episode. And so Graham Robbins from Border Buddy and I, we got together and we talked about some of the hot topics in 2020, some of the challenges, different things like that. So go and check that out. It's episode 166, wherever you listen or subscribe to the Let's Talk Supply Chain podcast. And I'm going to be bringing everybody up to say good morning. I'm seeing all of your amazing comments. So just bear with me as I get through this bit of the recap. Yesterday, we released a brand new Woman in Supply Chain episode. That's right. We kicked off 2021 with our Woman in Supply Chain series with May Shu of Fastenal. And she's got a fascinating story. So that's episode 167. Wherever you guys tune into the Let's Talk Supply Chain podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you can also go to Let's Talk Supply Chain for that as well. Blended is doing amazing, and we're getting so much great feedback about Blended, which is our new diversity and inclusion show. It's now its own podcast. So if you go to Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, you can subscribe directly to the Blended podcast. And because we want to make it about supply chain, but we want to take it outside of supply chain, because a lot of the conversations that we're having in these episodes can really touch businesses in all different industries. So go and check that out. Episode 3 came out in December, and we are getting ready for episode 4 to come out in a couple of weeks as well. And then last but not least, I was talking about the Woman in Supply Chain series. So if you go to letstalksupplychain.com, under resources, we have a full page for Women in Supply Chain. And our December blog was with Blythe. And if you don't know her, go and check her out on LinkedIn. Go and read the blog that we wrote about her and her journey to success. She started out as a sports broadcaster, is now in supply chain, and her story is incredible. So go and read some of those inspiring stories. We have a whole page dedicated to women in this amazing industry. And before we bring up Martha and Abigail, I just want to say thank you to everybody who supported us in 2020. I hope you all enjoyed the holidays. Want to wish you an amazing 2021 as we move forward into the new year. And so let's get started. And there's so many great comments up here, so we're going to get into those as well. So I'm going to bring up Martha. I'm going to bring up Abigail. Good morning, ladies. Welcome to Thoughts and Coffee into 2021.
Good morning.
It is so great to have you here. And just to let everybody know, we are going to be doing things a tiny bit differently today because we want to set the tone for 2021. So we're going to be talking about mindset. We're going to be talking about working from home. We're going to be talking about supporting small business and nonprofit rather than supply chain heavy this morning. So Martha, why don't you start by give us a bit of an introduction. Tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. So Martha Lumatete, I work for McKesson Pharmaceuticals out in Dallas, Texas. and I am a senior manager for corporate systems and ERP systems. I've been with the company not very long right now, about 6. I changed my job during the pandemic, and thrilled to be with the company. And we actually are the distributor for the vaccine, so really, really excited about that. But yeah, that's what I do.
Ooh,
Yes.
that is very exciting. We might need to do a
Yes.
whole nother episode on
Yes,
that.
it is.
Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that at the end of the episode. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Abigail, over to you. Welcome to the show. Tell us who you are and what you do. Oh,
good morning.
we're
My
having.
name's Abigail Erickson Torres, and I am the CEO.
Go ahead.
I'm the CEO of Brian's House, which is a 33-year-old nonprofit, and we serve at-risk children with special medical education and domestic needs.
Awesome. Awesome. Welcome to Thoughts and Coffee. And
I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you. And I'm really excited for what we're going to be talking about today. So now that the introductions have been done, let's talk a little bit about my Thoughts and Coffee post that I posted on Sunday. Let me pull that up here. Just bear with me. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done this, so I just need to remember what I'm doing. So I'm going to pull up this, my Thoughts and Coffee post. What I wanted to do for the first Sunday of the year is really just talk about gearing up to the new year, new week, new year. Talk a little bit about how crazy my schedule looked like for yesterday. It kind of looks crazy for the whole entire week. I don't know if it's the same for you guys. And then talk a little bit about some things to remember when you're working from home. So when you saw this post, Martha, what did you think about it?
So when I saw this post, first of all, I know you and I've worked with you for a while now, and I recognize just how crazy 2020 was, and working from home and the boundaries and being able to still be effective has been a challenge in itself. And it resonated with me. I was like, yeah, she's definitely right on, so yeah.
Well, and some of the things that I should point out before I go to Abigail is that some of the things that I had mentioned about working from home. So, and maybe we should go through those today, just as a friendly reminder, because we're all working from home. I'm in lockdown where I am. I know the UK just went into another lockdown. So these are just some things that we might want to think about. So number one is don't stand up while on Zoom. I mean, you're either in your underwear or you are in your sweatpants. So either way, just don't stand up on Zoom. Just stay seated. Remember that the mute button is in the left or the right-hand corner. Always stay on mute unless, you're going to be talking. And think about this when you go to actually decide whether you want this to be an email or a meeting. So could this meeting be an email? Right? We all have so many meetings. And I think what 2020 has kind of taught us is with Zoom and, working from home is, do we really need to get online and have a meeting about this? Or could this just be an email? So let's just think about that one. Let that settle in for a minute. And then the other one is everyone wants to see your dog and cat. Okay. If you have a cat that's meowing in the background, if you have a dog that's barking in the background, everybody knows, and it's okay by now, but they all want to see it. So just make sure that if you are going to have a pet in the background and it's going to make some noise, just bring it up on stage, I guess. And the last one is if you're sharing your screen, just remember that you're sharing your screen. Okay. If you're done sharing your screen, remember to click stop share screen, because if you decide to go on to Slack while you're sharing your screen and you want to talk about the people in the room, they can still see it. Ouch. Any other tips you want to add to that, Martha?
I think the only other few tips I would add from working from home is I have learned to get up early in the morning, take a shower, like I'm going to the office. Take a shower, dress up, have a breakfast early in the morning, get in maybe 20, 30 minutes workout just to get my body going. So that way, it really honestly feels like you're getting up, and mentally it prepares you for the day. Instead of getting up and doing it in your pajamas, I'd say get up and take a shower and truly just get ready. So that's going to be one of my biggest takeaways. And make your bed. Some people don't make the bed. So
I
it
do
really,
not make my bed.
it's a mental thing. It's just that preparation. Well, Sarah is one of them.
I have just said this on national LinkedIn.
You just told everybody you don't make your bed in the morning.
Thanks, Martha. Thanks for that one. Abigail, are you there? I know you left for just a second. We've been having a little bit of technical issues. I know you saw the Thoughts and Coffee post. Do you have anything else to add about maybe working from home or getting geared up for 2021?
Well, I have a husband who also is working from home, and so we kind of had to fight for a space to work from. And so I was working underneath the stairs of my house for a long time in a very enclosed space. So I found a better space that has more light, and I feel better. And I do what Martha does, and I get up, I have a shower every morning, I go do Pilates and come back home, and it makes me feel not so sluggish during the day, and I have better mental clarity. So just I think that's the good combination of a good place that makes you feel good, that whatever your view is, that it's not underneath the stairs.
I love that. And Martha, Daniel says, I haven't learned that yet, Martha. So I don't know if he's talking about making his bed or something else that you said, but I'm going to go with making his bed so that I'm not alone.
Yeah, I'm thinking making his bed too.
And then we've got Davin. Yes, Martha, I have major issues with getting moving and doing my morning routine. I'll sit around and drink coffee all day. Davin, you are my man. I would do that too if I could. All right.
Cap.
you have your coffee. I have my coffee.
I have my coffee.
Yes.
Yes.
Davin, we are with you. We are drinking coffee with you this morning. I don't know what you guys put in your coffee, but for me, I put collagen powder and coconut milk. But I also found a coconut milk eggnog over the holidays. And so I've been adding a little bit of coconut eggnog to my coffee every morning just for the holidays.
Yeah, no, in mine, I actually put an extra spoon of high metabolism powder. So it keeps me going throughout the day because I'm sitting the whole day.
Oh,
yes.
That's a good call. What about you, Abigail?
I actually drink tea, so I'm disguising my tea bag here. I love tea. I'm Australian. I was raised with tea bags. So.
We love tea drinkers just as much as we love coffee.
We do.
Don't take the name for granted. And everybody, I got a new sign for Thoughts and Coffee. I just want to let everybody know that I put on there Happy New Year, supply chainers. I'm going to be changing that every week, I think, to some sort of quote. So if you have any quotes that you want to send over to me, send them over to me. I'll get the quote up on the board, and I got to figure out where to place it. But we're working on it. Okay, it's the beginning of 2021. All right, so let's get into our first conversation, our first topic of discussion, and that is around mindset. So Martha came to me and we wanted to do another Thoughts and Coffee together, and we just didn't know what we wanted to talk about. And Martha is very much about mental health and mindset, and she's one of my most favorite people. And so she had suggested that we talk about a book by Napoleon Hill. A lot of people know about Napoleon Hill. I don't know if they know this particular book because I think he's known for
Think Rich, Grow Rich.
Yeah, Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, the law of success, or success through a positive mental attitude. Those are what he's known for.
Yeah. So take us through this one, Martha. Why did you want to talk about this one? How is this going to set the stage for us moving into 2021 and maybe thinking about things a little bit differently?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're right on. I am definitely a proponent for mental stability and mental health. And in 2020, it was even more so important for all of us to have that mindset where we can be able to walk through challenges and just the difficulty the 2020 gave us. And Napoleon Hill was born in the 19th century. He went through the Great Depression. He wrote this book during the Great Depression. So it is even more impactful because it really just talks about being able to truth finding, but also having the tools to be able to work through a very difficult environment that is impacting the entire globe, how to handle failure, how to handle not being able to meet your goals, how to handle success. And so this is why I wanted to talk about this book, because it truly just is so applicable right now, because America went through the Great Depression, and right now for a lot of people it may feel that way right now. And so it's like, how do you pull yourself through it, and how do you become successful in spite of the current circumstances?
Yeah, it's so true. I haven't actually read this book yet, but it's on my reading list. Although I like to listen to business books on Audible rather than reading them, because if I read them, I only get about halfway through and then I put it away and I want my crime books. So it's going to go in my Audible queue. I mean, that's just who I am and how I operate. Abigail, do you have anything to add on to this about mental health and what we're learning from some of these books and how to set us up for 2021?
Absolutely. And, I've been watching a few shows on Netflix, and I came across this show called Minimalism. And it's about these two guys that realized that they were living a life full of stuff. And so they started clearing out their homes of all their stuff. And what happened over the course of this 12-week period was that their minds, their mental clarity was, I guess.
Oh, she froze on us.
Yeah, she did.
Enhanced or improved.
There we go.
That she started being a better quality of life, and it enabled them to rather able to give them oh, sorry, is that better?
Yep, you're back.
Oh, good.
Yep.
So I've just for more mental clarity, I'm really trying to encourage my teams going into the new year to have more time for things that are important to you, like giving back in community and having more deeper relationships with the people that you love and you care about, rather than acquiring a lot of stuff in your home, and just letting go of some of that, and it will actually bring you more peace. So that's kind of my goal this year, is to try and do that.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, I thought about that a couple of years ago. And so what I've been trying to do is really garner experiences over things. And so what I've been doing with my nephews is one of my nephew's birthday is December 24th, so Christmas Eve. So it's, he's getting his birthday, but it's mixed with Christmas, and he's getting all sorts of presents at the exact same time. The other one is January 12th, and then the other one is in August. And so what I've been doing is, instead of buying them gifts, is really taking them on experiences. And right now, because everything is shut down, that it makes it a little bit more difficult. So you have to be a little bit more creative. And so for their birthdays, I've been, bringing them over here for a sleepover, getting them what they want for dinner. My nephew the other day ate his cupcake before he ate his dinner, because at Auntie's house, that's allowed, right? But it's just the little things, right? It's just the experiences that you can give others rather than actual things. So I really like that. We've got the link in comments to this particular PDF. And then we've also got a YouTube link as well that we're going to be sharing for you, so that you can take a look at what Napoleon Hill is doing. But if you're in the comments on LinkedIn, we've actually got a lot of people that are commenting with their own thoughts on some really great books that can help you in this arena as well. And I appreciate all of you for bringing these to our attention, because not every book is going to resonate with everybody. And so I think it's great to get others' perspectives on what books have worked for you. So thank you so much for sharing that. We've got a lot of great comments and great suggestions. the LinkedIn user. So I don't know who that is. There are some settings in your LinkedIn that you can change in order to make sure that your name shows next time. I think AJ, if you can put that link or that in the comments for me. There we go. Thanks, AJ. So whoever is the LinkedIn user, go ahead and change your settings so that we can see you and we know who you are. So the next one we're going to be talking about is, and Crystal says that she is reading Jim Quick right now. And I think we also inspired her to go and get her coffee. I don't know if anybody saw that earlier, but we are inspiring people this morning to go and drink some coffee. Oh, it's Rhonda. All right. So Rhonda, we've put it up on the screen of how you can get your name to show. But Rhonda says, foster positive relationships, practice gratitude, self-compassion, and setting boundaries for time to practice self-care, which is so important. And I so agree with you on that. And show compassion. Compassion and empathy right now are super, super important with what everybody is going through right now. And we're getting a lot of positive feedback to Rhonda's comment there. All right, so we're going to go to the next one, and we're going to be talking about Brian's house, which is why Abigail is here. And one of the reasons why we wanted to talk about Brian's house is because we've been talking a lot about small business and business in general in 2020 and what that looks like. We've talked about how supply chain have supported businesses and has been a big part of businesses. But I think we want to take a step back and look at non-for-profits. And Brian's house has done a really good job at being resilient in 2020. And so we want to talk about what that looks like and how other businesses can maybe follow in their footsteps. So Abigail, over to you. Tell us the story behind Brian's house and how you've been able to be resilient in 2020, and maybe also how people can support nonprofits right now.
Well, we had so many challenges because part of our program is that we are like small country hospital mixed in with an education program. So we have children that have chronic special medical and health needs that receive their care while they're in their classrooms on site for ages 1-5. And then we also have all of our clients outside in 7 counties where we had to really change from a going into their home model into a virtually based case management and emergency assistance program. And we were able to do that because of we thought, how can we not only address the needs of our families, regardless of whether they have COVID or not. So we had to come up with a task force, a resilient task force, actually, where we used the best and brightest people that could create a strategy to help us not only weather the storm during COVID, but also look at new ways to operate. And so I had a great team of people who were experts in what they do on our board and volunteers. And through the last 12 months, we were able to not only sustain our programs, but we actually started thriving because people understood the need, because we are on the front lines with these children. And, we serve about 72 different diagnoses of health, including children with vision loss, hearing loss, multiple sclerosis, cerebral palsy. They have heart conditions or cancer remission, and they normally get all of their therapies on site. And so we did have to move for a time, March through to May. We had to figure out how we could deliver their therapy. So we had to, I think the parents also are incredible because we had to, not only they had other children in their family that had special medical needs, but they also had all their other children they were trying to school. And so for me, my resilience came in my team and our belief that something really important. And people get passionate about what you're doing when you can tell true stories of success. And really, we were able to, partner with different groups who would make a video for us so we could share our experiences. But it was also just being compassionate around, we had to show strength. The board, my staff, to tell the parents that they can do this and they could get through this. We had parents that had lost their job immediately, and we were working with families that literally had their homes now in their vehicles. I ran across one member, and this is the second time this has happened actually in my career, in a parking lot. There was a small wheelchair outside of the vehicle, and the whole family was sleeping in the van. So we immediately intervened and said, we're going to help you. And we did. And they were able to move into transitional housing. And then we found a private grantor who was able to help this family who have 3 children, 2 with special needs, because the mom her husband is chronically ill, and her job was to do Grubhub before the pandemic, and so she was making a good living at night while everybody was at home, and dad was looking after the children and making sure they were going to school and things like that. But when they lost their home because she lost her job, and then the market was flooded with people driving meals around, she wasn't able to make as much money. A very strong woman, with 3 other children. And we write about her in our new annual report, which is coming out in 2 weeks. It will share some statistics about, how much emergency funding assistance we provided. And I had such a great joy writing checks to people's apartment buildings for rental and utility assistance. So when you talk about resilience, I think it's that the belief I could also do this, and we're talking with people on our task force like Martha, and just having that support from people that was really compassionate support. It was really support that was authentic, because we're really talking about human lives here. The numbers, people forget about the numbers. That's 300,000 people that have died. And they're people, they're just like you and me. I lost a family member from COVID. I've had numerous friends who've been ill from COVID. So we just have to be strong for one another, because we will get through this. It's the power of positive thinking, and just knowing in our hearts we're doing the right thing. How can you not support that? So the community's been so generous.
Absolutely. You are doing some amazing work over there. And I know that Martha is supporting you by being on the board. If anybody wants to check out more about Brian's House, we do have their website on the ticker at the bottom of the screen. There are a lot of organizations like Brian's House that we can get behind right now, and really give back. And I think, we need a lot of empathy. We need a lot of compassion right now. We need a lot of positive thinking. And we need to also pick ourselves up. And part of picking ourselves up too is being able to help out. And that doesn't necessarily mean money. It could mean that you are getting together with a nonprofit and you're providing knowledge. And a lot of us as supply chain professionals, remember, we have a lot of amazing knowledge when it comes to logistics, when it comes to distribution. And all of these gems are exactly what a lot of these nonprofit needs. So just think about that. It doesn't have to be money, but you could pick up the phone, you could give them a call, see what they need, and see how you can help out in maybe the time that you have. And so that's one of the reasons why we wanted to feature that story. And thank you, Abigail, so much for all of the work that you're doing. And also Martha for bringing this up to our attention. So we've got 2 minutes left. I just want to cover one more thing that I think is very, very important for 2021, and that is to support small business. And so I found this article, and it goes through how you can support small businesses. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to buy product from them. Remember that we can support small business by engaging with their posts, following them, liking them, commenting, tagging somebody. Those are ways that we can support small business, because small business really, really needs us right now with everything going on. And so we're going to have that article in the comments. And so you can go to that article, check out some of the small businesses on there. I'm sure there's some small businesses local to you that you can also help out. And of course, there's a lot of small business on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn that you can just get active with and really help and support. So last minute, Martha, tell us a little bit about what you're doing with the vaccine so that we can all have hope for 2021 and we can move forward with conviction. 1 minute.
1 minute. Oh, fantastic. So McKesson has been identified as the distributor for the vaccine in the US. We began the distribution for the Moderna vaccine late towards the end of the year 2020. And we're thrilled to be able to be one of the reasons why we'll be able to hopefully correct the pandemic. And we're looking forward to get the distribution across the country and everywhere else that we are needed to support our government, the people, and just overall to truly give people hope that this will come to an end. So it's really looking forward to that. And this is a whole new topic. So looking forward to probably engaging with you again on the vaccine distribution.
Yeah, absolutely. So incredible women doing incredible things, not only in supply chain, but in business, in our local communities. And I'm super excited that we started off the year like this. And Marina agrees with me. She says, I love the choice of this topic to start the year off. So thank you all for joining us for the first Thoughts and Coffee of 2021. I will see you next Tuesday, and stay tuned because we have a lot of stuff planned. Have a great week, everybody. And we look forward to hearing from you, engaging with you, and supporting each other through 2021.